Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm King Posh and today we're looking at the Koenigsegg CCX rear-wheel drive. Here is my share code. I did not make an all-wheel drive car. I did not. I did not like it in all-wheel drive, so I decided to make a rear-wheel drive because I knew I could get some power pushing out of this car, and I did. There's 1341 right there. You can see it. And yeah, it's got off-road tire compound. I'll explain that later, but it does drift beautifully with all that power. And another thing is, when you type in S, drift, and best for handling, as of today, I'm the only one with rear-wheel drive in S1 class. So, well, for best for handling. All right, everybody else here is in all-wheel drive. All right, but for best for handling, for rear-wheel drive, I'm the guy that you need to be looking for. So let's get into this and show you guys everything I've done to it. I will show you guys the tires, why I picked them, and whatnot. All right. So either way, we've got the 5.1 liter V8 giving us all that glorious power. As you can tell, it's got the anti-lag turbo pumping. It's got the stock drivetrain. Like I said, I did try the all-wheel drive. I didn't like it. I decided to say, you know what, I'm going to be different and do a rear-wheel drive tune instead for this car. So it's got the stock for both the front and the rear. Alright. And we got a off-road race tire compound. Now, the reason I picked this and not the snow tires, watch the car when I go to snow tire compound. It raises up. Alright. Drops, raises. Drops, raises. Stays the same. Raises, drops. Raises, drops. I wanted this thing to be as low as possible. So that's why I did it. So you could technically take this thing off-road, but I don't recommend it, being that it has so much power. But it might be fun. I don't know. I haven't taken it off-road. But you could possibly do it because you have off-road race tire compound. We got max width in the front and max width in the rear to keep all that 1,300 horsepower under control. Alright, now I went with a different rim and I have a reason why. Alright, I went with these guys right here. They're close to the bottom, close to my TC 105Ns. Yeah, there's my TC 105N. So you just go up a couple. Alright, and there's this. The only reason I picked this was because of the rotor behind the rim. The rotor is just ugly to me. I just can't stand the way it looks. Alright, and I'll show you why. You see that ugly, you know, it's like chrome back there, and then in the back it's dull. And I for some reason, I just didn't like that showing. So I went with these rims here because they hide that hideousness behind the rim on the rotor. That's all hidden now, and I'm happy it's hidden. I don't know why. It drove me up the wall. I had to change it. So I did. We got the maxed out upgraded front track width in the front and maxed out in the rear. Alright, now that we got all that figured out, let's keep going. We've got a race clutch and a 10-speed transmission to handle all that power. And then technically, you could put a 7-speed, keep it in the S1 900, and run my gearing to that point. You'll be fine. I just have this set so then you guys can just fly down like the highways and just go sideways with this thing, or go off-road and just go sideways with this thing in any gear you please. Alright, race driveline and a drift differential. Here you got drift springs and dampeners. You got the roll cage in this thing. You can see it a little bit in there. So it looks good in there. You got a race weight reduction. You're saving 258 glorious pounds. And then here is your only option, and it's the anti-lag turbo. That's all you've got. Nothing else. Now let's look at everything else. So, yeah, you can get 10,000 XP from this thing. And clearly they don't expect you to go sideways with this thing. Boy, well, hate to break it to you guys, but I got this thing to go sideways. Regardless, let's move on. We got 55-55 just to maximize that slide. Alright, here is the gearing. Like I said, use any gear you want. Go sideways, have a lot of fun with this car. Alright. Here is the alignment. It's pretty straightforward. I've used this multiple times. In fact, it's my favorite alignment to use for mainly all my rear-wheel drives. Now there are other ones I do put on, and I usually get some people saying, "Posh, this thing's too wild. You know, you need to tone it down a bit." So I bring out this one because this one's pretty easy to work with. All right, anti-roll bars are not just for show on this one. I maxed them out and said, you know what, why not? You know, just to handle all that glorious power, make this thing a little stiff. And also on the springs, I made it as stiff as possible. I did bring up the rear ride height just to match the front on this one. All right, dampening is 20, 20, 1 in 1. This is what I love using for my rear-wheel drive cars. All right, there is no downforce to worry about. All right, brakes, I just left it at 50 and 100. And then differential is 21% and 100%. I tried this at 0%. I was like, let me try it at 100%, and it just smoothed out beautifully. And I said, you know what, this is good. I'll share it. And we have a 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds, and that's really quick. It really is a beautiful rear-wheel drive drift car. It's a lot of fun. I think you guys are going to have some joyous moments with this thing. Too bad it's nighttime, but I got that cherry strawberry red paint job going on right here. Absolutely gorgeous all the way through. A little bit of carbon fiber. It gets up and goes, has no problem drifting, you know, getting up to speed and then drifting. It has no problem drifting. That's what I was trying to get at. Let's give him more power. It's absolutely beautiful. You can go off into the ground there and don't have to worry about it, you know, since you have those off-road tires. And you just baby this throttle, all right? Because, I mean, you've got a lot of power at play here. And, yeah, it's smooth. But, yeah, if you go off-road, it's okay. You'll be all right. I don't recommend it, but you'll be all right. Plenty of power to get you going where you need to go. And there's a 41,000 right there with this thing. That's absolutely beautiful. Over 40,000 point car right there on the first time around. That's what I'm talking about. It does get sideways. You can control it. That's what my tunes are all about. Control and handling. That's what I do. Alright, I try to give you guys some easy tunes out there. And some wicked ones. I know I've done that. But, yeah. Plenty of gears to mess around with, so depending on where you are, you'll be alright. You'll have the gear you need. Like I said, 7th gear right there is actually really, really nice. It really is. And so on and so forth. So let's take her back into the garage and just look at her in all her beauty. Because she is a gorgeous car. And, yeah, absolutely beautiful. And super fun. You can open up that right there, and you cannot put anything in the frunk. All right, unless that's like a cover and it lifts up, I'm not sure. All right, but yeah, absolutely beautiful. And we can look in here. I've yet to look in here and look at all the beauty. Oh, look at how gorgeous that engine is. I love it. She's absolutely beautiful. And the one thing I think we all like about this car the most is those doors. I mean, when they showcased this car with this door, I was like, what in the world am I looking at? That is absolutely awesome. And yeah, it's absolutely beautiful how they designed this car. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely hit that like button. And I'll catch you guys next time. Stay sideways, my friends.